was excellent. Well, we're going to keep the energy flowing because next up on the dais we have the one and only Brian Hassett, ladies and gentlemen. Coming up to the microphone.
All right, the Amram Jam with Cassidy's in the house. All right, I'm going to do two short pieces, and they're the climax of two books. So they're both going to be climaxes of books. They're going to be short, and they're going to relate. So this Hitchhiker's Guide to Jack Kerouac, whole massive adventure where I first met David in Boulder in 1982, and after the whole thing happened to this 21-year-old, and I set out on the open road to head home, this is how it went. Out on the highway, the fireworks started to go off. Pranksters and writers and deadheads and jacksters and poets and players and teachers and teammates and adventures and strangers and shows and family. Flashing snapshots of learning and loving, mythical tales and magical pages, lessons imparted in sacred places. City lights floor worn to the core, red rocks carved by the hand of God, and pearls of street wisdom crazy with love, of diamond mine sutras from diamond mine digging, the cats in the cradles of culture's creation, and sharing the tricks of rabbits from hatters, of joy from Sal Paradise, and passion from lovers, of words and visions and music and candor. The road is the life, the path to the light. The first steps of 1,000 miles for a good conversation. Or sharing your diary with simpatico strangers and having your heroes share their lives back at you. There's keezies in cars and scholars in bars and homes in classrooms and homes in mountains, and gonna make them be my home. As Jerry and Cross ripple in harmony with more mountains of books building castles to heaven, warding off devils in blue dress suits and naysaying no-nopers who's never flown the coop, while painting in crosses and filling in pictures of visions first danced in sugar plum heads. Dancing now on the shoulder of life, thumb outstretched for the next car's light. Canvases blank and lips uncurled, seeing for miles like Neil around curves. With a prankster's twinkle and a grateful sprinkle of spontaneous music meets spontaneous prose in an endless tale, who knows where it goes. But I'm loaded for bear, 'cause now I've been there. And it ain't just me in this rainbow glass tree with shimmering prisms and dancing refractions of a million reflections of the walrus and Whitman surrounding me, covering me, delivering me from evil. For this is the kingdom and the flower of power and the glory of the story forever and ever. Amen. Okay, so here's something about shows that we did together back in the 90s and early 2000s. I wrote we were doing a ton of shows in New York at all sorts of places, including the Bitter End. And so this is sort of a composite of beat shows like we're at now. So you ought to fit and you ought to know the scene. And it features our main man and the big brick wall backdrop of the bitter end that we're all going to be doing. Some of us will be doing a show there next weekend. George Walker and all the pranksters are coming to New York, and we're going to be knocking it out at the bitter end next Sunday. All right, so here's how they go down. Lights dimmed, room hushed. MC at silhouette at center stage, blessing the packed room of book reading, edge surfing, hipsters from all over the world. Thanks to email and websites and a collective unconscious that keeps them striving for the new. For where the heart pounds, the eyes twinkle, the women aren't treated like girls, and the men have self-confidence without conceit.
Whoa.
The lively linguist at the microphone calls up John Cassidy. Son of a beat, Neo, icon of time. His nearly white faded jeans matching his white halo hair, who begins to spin a web of the road, of wanderlust, soul-searching, pine-climbing, spine-needling pursuits, of what's through the next door, and who's at the next table, and when's the next epiphany, drifting away in the eyes of another, as everything dissolves into a candlelit dream of two people's faces. And then Brett Cox comes up, down from Cherry Valley, trim and straight-legged in cowboy confidence, reading classic couplets in a sensuous, lip-curling elegance that stops even the waitresses in their rounds. And the poetry attenuating the vibe and vibrating the antennas until every head is quivering. And dancing butterfly imagery spins from the lips all night. The room's transformed, the dream's alive. And a band starts up, subtle at first, and then two dancers on stage. And the beat jamming jazzman David Amram is massaging the ground, with saxophone shades weaving in from the corners, and the brick wall backdrop dancing with shadows of clarinet solos as more cats stream into the scene and fall into the jam, the djembe, the congas, the violin, and the bow. A poet, a prankster, a king and a queen, a flirt, a chat, you know what I mean. On your feet dancing, warmed by the light of a new beam beside you, dancing off demons with a smile inside you, dancing with purpose in a circle of light, in a bass-thumping, heart-pounding, soul-swirling twirl, to dance above the diamond earth, to stoke the improbable, light the impossible, fan the invisible, be the invincible spirit you are.